Bonjour. Welcome to the latest episode of the Jonny R podcast. I'm your host, Jonny R, obviously. If you were listening, I think it was sometime last week, I actually recorded an episode. I left it up for about, excuse me, I don't know, maybe half hour, 45 minutes, maybe an hour. But I think I got a little too personal in that episode, so I decided to delete it. I got a little deep in that one, and I don't think I was ready to share that much information about my life. So if excuse me if you happen to have a chance to listen to that, that's that's very rare. So I opened up like a motherfucker that day. So I'm trying it over again. I don't know, maybe I'll share those experiences again on another episode. But as for now, I listened to it and I thought, shit, man, I don't want to let people in, you know? I can't let strangers in to the old history, you know? I'm not ready to share something like that because I thought about all the Facebook people that maybe not overshare but share a lot. And you know, it's good to know your friends on Facebook, you know, they share a lot of their struggles and a lot of their successes, and some of them share a little too much, and I feel bad about reading stuff. And there are some of them that I had to unfollow, sometimes just unfriend, because I didn't feel right, you know. It felt like it's like at somebody's home and they start arguing with somebody, and it's that awkward for me when I read people's business. So I really don't put that much of my business out there because of that, I suppose. So yeah, and then that episode of the podcast, which aired for a little bit, which was live for about an hour. I actually tried to do that last year too, share some of that last year, but I think I went live on YouTube at the time, or may have uploaded, whatever I did, but I took that down too, so I wasn't ready to share. I don't know if I ever will. I don't know. Might help other people, but I'm too, I grew up at a time where, you know, if you expressed yourself or you showed frustration and, you know, emotional, they tell you to shut the fuck up, you know, quit being a crybaby. That's what I grew up with, and heard a lot of that because I was an emotional boy, you know. Even into my high school years, I was a little emotional, and people always tell me to shut the fuck up and quit your damn complaining, quit whining, and be the crybaby. And so now that I'm an adult, I don't know. I really don't know. My wife called me cold-blooded today because I see a lot of people in Bemidji driving with their dogs either in the front seat or holding them, and I asked my wife, you know, why would you leave yourself, you know, open up to an animal, you know, that's something I really never understood, because the first dog I ever had, I poisoned him by accident by feeding him commodity canned beef, and I guess you weren't supposed to do that, but I did. That was my puppy named Bingo I got from my dad when I was about 5. And I never really got attached to dogs and animals. It was just never my thing after that. So even at a young age, I figured, you know, they're going to die. So why even put any love and effort into an animal that's just going to desert you? you know. Maybe that's father issues that I still have, because, my biological father aren't connected like most fathers and sons are. Not really, I don't know. I got a lot of work to do. My emotions, and that just dates back to me being told, shut the fuck up, quit your complaining, don't be a bitch, growing up in Red Lake. But nowadays, I don't know. I grew up in a different time. Wasn't the best time, but I survived, Turned out, okay after about a good 20 years of getting wrecked by alcohol. I know. I remember I had my first drink when I was 16, and then I quit drinking when I was 29. So that's only 13, 14 years, but that's still a lot. I quit drinking for 3 years for the hell of it. Well, to save my marriage and try and be a better father. And that worked out pretty good. Got a better perspective on life being sober. So, but I started up again just for something to do, off and on. But now I think I've only been out twice since maybe 3 times this whole year. I know New Year's, and then June, and then July. Yeah, it's cut back significantly. But I don't know. I might plan something this weekend or next weekend. Because last Friday, I turned in my 2-week notice of my resignation at my current position, because it's a stressful job. I think I've talked about this before on here to anybody who'll listen, I suppose. But working with families in the Red Lake Nation is they tell you not to get emotionally involved, but you end up rooting for them. You root for the families that are struggling, and they want to get better, so you're there. You want to cheer them on and be there for them and help them when they're struggling. And it's kind of hard not to get emotionally involved or attached or something, whatever. And it's starting to take its toll on me. I've worked with a lot of families now. I think 3 years and 10 months I've worked there, and it just, you find out a lot goes on in the dark around here, and it's not, it's disheartening to think what our people, Red Lake Nation members, do when nobody's around, nobody's looking. But then you have others that struggle with addiction, and it's a battle for them, which I'm proud of. A lot of the clients, a lot of our members are pulling themselves out. But to live that every day, not just one family, but I have a lot of families on my caseload, and I'm proud of how far they've come. I don't take any credit for it at all. It's all of them, because I don't feel good about myself. I'm just happy for the families that get to a point where they want to be. I'm trying not to sound self-righteous. If I do sound that way, I apologize. That is not my intention. So, but I'm proud of the Red Lake Nation. A lot of people are making strides to make it a better place. And then there's others that just refuse. I don't know any better, I suppose. But it's a battle. It's a battle living up here. It's getting, I'm kind of scared for my kids now. I wanted my oldest daughters to go away to college, but it's expensive out there. Very expensive. Even more expensive when you have parents who have shitty credit. So, but that's one thing I told them: take care of your credit. You're gonna need that when you get older. I've been pretty much doing straight cash the last 15 years because of my credit. I'm just thankful for my auto mechanic that lets me do payroll deductions, and let the smaller car dealerships that let me do credit over there, payroll deductions. So yeah, not for them, I wouldn't be able to have a couple cars. I actually paid cash for a couple of them, but anyway, yeah. So everything else, man, I got two comedy-wise. I have 2 gigs coming up in September. I'll be in Nut Lake with Mark Yaffe for their comedy night, and then I'll be in Mole Lake, Wisconsin at the Mole Lake Casino Saturday, September 14th, also with Mark Yaffe. And I've been waiting on an email for a couple weeks for another one. First week in September, but I haven't heard anything, so it's getting a little late in the game to be, trying to plan for that. But I also have one coming up in November. It sounds like it's guaranteed, but I can't really say anything until I get the okay from the venue. So, but I also might have one coming up in October, maybe October. Because I got asked about it earlier this summer if I'd be interested in putting something together. So that'll be in Bemidji, the Bemidji area. So other than that, I haven't been out. I haven't been doing much comedy-wise. I did the boxing show in Natawash. I finally learned to say Natawash. All these years I was saying Natawash. So, and then before that I was at the youth conference. And before that, it's a struggle, man. I don't have the appeal. I don't have the looks. I don't have the charm. All of our other native comedians have the boldness, the brashness to be confident in their abilities. I'm a little Indianish, I get shy, I get nervous, self-conscious, and that holds me back. And sometimes I don't even want to push myself out there. I have friends that thankfully I have a lot of great friends that, speak up for me. They praise me to others regarding my comedy, and very grateful for that. All of you that have helped me get gigs just by word of mouth, I really do appreciate that, man. And I will repay you someday. One of these days we'll all go out and have a steak dinner and some sweet tea, because I don't drink pop. And it's been about 650 some days since I've had a soda pop. A Coke. I smell one just about every day, but I resist. And I've lost about 5 pounds in almost 2 years, so I suppose I should start exercising too, but whatevs. I was trying to go see my comedy bro, Ryan McMahon. He's in the area, but I missed him today, and I couldn't get away yesterday. So I'm hoping I can catch him before he heads back home. I haven't seen him in about maybe 3 or 4 years, and he was one of the first ones to speak for us on our Res Comedy documentary. I think he has the intro. To the movie. I'm sitting outside. I'm getting swarmed by mosquitoes because all my kids are inside sleeping. So, yeah. But anyway, Ryan McMahon. He was one of the first interview that shows up on Res Comedy documentary, and very grateful for him. And Very grateful for his friendship these last 12 years, I think. I've known him. We've met on Facebook in 2007, I believe. I was producing a Powwow DVD for the Red Lake Nation, and my first time, I didn't know what I was doing, and he offered his skills to be the I suppose host of that, But I already had the money was already paid to me. Well, not paid to me, but the budget was already in, and I didn't have any spare money to bring him down. But we kept in contact on Facebook. MySpace at the time. It was 2007. MySpace. So me and Ryan McMahon have been friends since MySpace days, and then I don't know if they remember this, but I'm pretty sure I was the one that put Res Dog, Gary Jourdain Jr., and Ryan McMahon together on Twitter. Because I remember Red Lake was having a comedy show, and I mentioned Ryan McMahon's name to Res Dog. And then a couple years later, he was the one, Ryan McMahon and Res Dog worked together and put together our first ever Native American comedy festival at Seven Clans Casino, Red Lake, which I was honored to be a part of. I opened that show. The reports vary. I think there's like 600 or 700 tickets sold, but there must have been at least 800-900 people in that little area. I don't know if that's probably a fire hazard being in the Red Lake Casino Event Center. But you could just feel that energy, that heat from a packed room of Ojibs. Well, maybe not just Ojibs, but a lot of people were in that area, in that room, and I felt the electricity. I felt like Hulk Hogan coming out to WrestleMania 3, Pontiac, Michigan. Pontiac Silverdome against Andre the Giant. Bodies, that's what I felt. That was my first real breathtaking comedy experience. Was Seven Clans Casino, Red Lake, September 10th, 2010 is when we did that. Ryan McMahon, Von Eaglebear, Tatanka Means, Tito Ibarra, can't even speak, Tito Ibarra, and myself rocked the shit out of that casino event center. So maybe a 10th anniversary show will be coming up next year. That'd be pretty cool. We haven't had one in going on 4 years now, so. But yeah, Ryan McMahon, one of my favorite comedians, favorite good guy to know, and he invited me to a few of his shows to open for him, and very grateful for that opportunity. So hopefully we get to visit. I stopped in there today, but he wasn't there yet at the conference he was at, and I was leaving and he was heading up there, so we just missed out. So hopefully I can catch him tomorrow. After my last day of work for the tribe will be August 23rd, and the stress just got to me. I couldn't take it anymore. There's just too many factors that made me want to leave, and not enough to make me stay. I figure, feel like I'm letting people down, but I'm not gonna be able to help anybody if I'm not fully functioning myself. Stress, anxiety can really do some damage to a bro. So that's why I decided to step away. And, I'm just going to podcast more regularly starting September. I'm going to, send out some information, try to book some more gigs, and give this podcasting comedy one last push before I get too old, because I'm starting to feel it. I'm 43 years old. My knees are giving me problems. My ankle sometimes, and my shoulders messed up from getting getting yanked one way trying to carry a kid, and the health isn't what it used to be. While I'm healthy, but my body is my joints and extremities are starting to fail me. Another thing I'll do, I'm gonna hit the dentist and the doctors that first week or that Monday after I quit working, because I never had time for that before. So I'm gonna go get a checkup and get some dental work done and take care of myself. I gotta go on a diet. I'm gonna quit drinking all this sugary mess. Like, I'm drinking a extra sweet tea right now. I've been drinking coffee like a motherfucker the last year. I don't use sugar. I use the sweetener, but gotta have my Tim Hortons. My wife and son call it chocolate milk because I bury it in French vanilla creamer. So I do like a quarter cup of creamer. I'm embarrassed. Maybe a third. No, quarter. A fifth. We'll say a fifth. Fifth a cup of my cup. And I use a big cup for coffee. So yeah, I'm gonna get out there, comedy wise. I'm gonna get my health on track since I'll have time, and take what little money I have and just invest it in myself. Try to get on the road, hit the road. I was gonna try to go back to school, but I don't think I have that in me. I still got the anxiety when I'm in uncomfortable, unfamiliar places. So maybe we'll try spring semester. I don't know. I gotta see where my financial aid is, because a big chunk of my student loans are paid off this year, and my credit score went up 4 points, so that's good. But yeah, fuck Donald Trump. That's all I gotta say. He's a piece of shit. And why is Joe Biden still considerably ahead in all the polls? Are we getting railroaded again with the Democrats forcing a candidate on us just to lose to Trump? Well, they're saying Biden could beat Trump, but I think any of the top 4 Democrats could beat Trump. They're saying that too, but you just gotta look at it yourself. It's like they're gonna do what they can to keep Bernie out of the way, because Bernie seems like his plan is to disarm the 1%. So I don't think the elites want that. So having the deep pockets of elite. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just going off. I listen to too much Joe Rogan and Jimmy Dore, and I don't know. Tulsi Gabbard, I like what she has to say. I've been there pretty much when she I think that one Rogan episode, he asked her if she's running for president. She didn't deny it. I was like, oh, there it is. She's running for president. I don't remember that one. Might have been last year. But yeah, I'm Tulsi Gabbard. Tulsi and Bernie ticket. Elizabeth Warren. Mayor Pete. But Biden, man, I just don't. It's like he's being forced on us. No pun intended. But yeah, that's all I got. It's getting dark. I'm getting chewed up. Thanks for listening, and we will, come September 1st, we'll try and do 2 a week. I'm going to try and get some guests since I'll have the free time. All right, miigwech.